Hey there, welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the importance of intention. This is a common topic in Buddhism and morality, but I want to talk about the nuances around it and how important it is, even beyond some of the things that are typically talked about. So, it's very accepted that intention is important in morality and in law. If you intended harm, this gets a greater punishment than if you didn't intend it but an accident happened. To some degree, some people don't even think accidents should be punished, others do. And in morality, there's often this separation between action, consequence-based morality, utilitarianism, consequentialism, and then things based on intention. And there can be a rift. But when we think about what intention is, we will see that it is an action. So our nervous system, our neurons, our thought, our body are processing data and doing things, and they are creating an action by having an intention. There is a physical pattern that is occurring. And so the idea is that negative intentions, ill intentions, ignorant intentions that, maybe aren't well informed and they're affecting other people negatively or oneself negatively, these are bad. Like, these are morally questionable. Whereas positive intentions, good intentions, loving intentions are more accepted and ideal and optimal. And when we see it as an action, I think it's easy to bridge those two. It's easy to bridge action, consequence-based morality, and intention-based morality. Because we shouldn't separate them. They are part of reality. They are part of the infinite structure. And so it is ideal that we take our intentions and we focus on making them better, making them positive. And this goes for every action. This goes for why we eat our food, for why we do our job, for why we're talking to somebody or interacting with people, why we're purchasing a product. Every intention that we have is vibrating and occurring in relation to everything else. It's all part of the same holistic shape of the infinite universe. And so when we eat with anger, when we eat with depression, when we eat out of boredom, we are creating a pattern along with the food. And this pattern reverberates through our being. And there will be consequences with this pattern, this negative intention, this maybe untruthful intention, or just not the best intention. We could have done better. It's the same with interacting with somebody. It's like the connection, the vibration of each other's heart, the style of communication, the style of behaviors, they all are interwoven with our intention for interacting with these people. And so when we are with others, when we are engaging in an event or party, our intention is never not important. And I think we have a lot of selfish intentions. We intend to do things that will benefit us. We intend to do things that will get things for our future, get things for our life. We intend to have other people in our timeline. And this is all part of a realization that we shouldn't be so selfish. We have to be considerate of other people. We have to be considerate of what their future is going to hold. Because if we aren't, then we're just kind of laying in ignorance. We're laying our own being in an illusion. Our intentions will affect everything. And not in grand ways all the time, but enough that it is something we should change in ourselves. We shouldn't have intentions that are solely selfish. We shouldn't have intentions that pull on the timelines of other people without their consent or in ways that they wouldn't want themselves. We shouldn't have intentions that create suffering and hardship and struggle, even if that's for our own being, our own emotional health. And that includes the discontent and craving intentions we have with purchasing something. That includes the anger and the depression of why we consume a substance or food. All these things are going to perpetuate certain patterns of suffering in our being, and then increase the likelihood of that for others, because at the end of the day, it is just a shape. There are shapes of suffering, and there are shapes of goodness, and our intentions are part of what manifests those shapes, what tries to keep those shapes in place, and they are part of how we change them. In Buddhism and in yoga, we talk about ahimsa, harmlessness, but it often focuses on how our mind harms others, and that's with our intentions. That's with our desires and our thoughts. Intentions are basically these pillars of thought, pillars of desire, and I find in this world it's very normalized to have intentions that just aren't the best. It's normal to have an intention that wants to utilize another being as an object or a resource. It's normal to have an intention that will sacrifice the well-being of other people, ecosystems, animals for our own temporary desires. It's normalized to have an intention to become the best at somebody, even if it means putting other beings down or making other people's lives worse. And so these are to be meditated upon. And sometimes we don't know our intentions. Sometimes they're hidden from ourselves because they are something we wouldn't agree with. When we would see our intention clearly, we would see that, oh, that's not very virtuous or righteous or loving or compassionate. So we almost hide our own intentions from ourselves so that we can feel good about ourselves, so that we can feel like we're still a good person. But deep down, we probably do have some questionable intentions for things. And the intentions go beyond like classic morally wrong, morally good, even to just like the intention to work and have a job, to make money, but the intention is based on keeping away fear, keeping away our anxiety. And that gives life to the reality of fear. It gives life to the reality of anxiety. We basically accept that it's a possibility and that it exists and that it can have power over us. We give it life, we give it reality. So even things like this, which are less like, oh, I'm directly harming someone, it's more just realizing there's a better way to be. Because if we have positive intentions about work, then we don't necessarily like do a job out of fear or do a job out of anxiety. We're more likely to have a consistent, engaging pattern with our work, and thus work will be mentally healthier, it'll be physically healthier, and we will more likely have a job that we don't hate. That's just one example. Intentions are so ubiquitous. We're going about our moment to moment, every day, every decision, every movement of the body, every choice of attention is directed by intention. And so mastering this, even just a little bit, practicing, controlling and transforming and being aware of our intentions can kind of change our whole lives. And it changes it so simply, it changes it energetically, and we start to compound positive karma in ways that we wouldn't be able to do if we only focused on consequence, if we only focused on action. Thank you so much for watching. Om Saram.